Visalia resident David Kausen lived an active and healthy life. So when he was diagnosed at 48 with severe aortic stenosis, a valve disease that typically affects people 60 and older, he turned to the Heart and Lung Institute to receive a higher level of care. There's not a lot that scares motocross enthusiast David Kausen, but he says hearing he needed heart surgery was an exception.
It's probably the most scary thing I've had to do in my life, actually, but at the same time, I knew it had to be done. There was no options. It had to be done, and so that gave me the strength to kind of put that fear aside.
David was born with a bicuspid aortic valve, a congenital heart defect where the heart has only 2 valves instead of 3. But that condition did not stop David from living a full life of adventure, until one day he felt something was off.
The initial symptoms were I was at the motocross track and I hit a wall physically, which I've done before, but this time it felt a lot different. It was like I just couldn't breathe.
David met with his cardiologist in Visalia and was initially referred to a local specialist, but was struggling to find answers and be taken seriously.
They would say things like, "You're too young, you're still active," and it was almost like they weren't willing to perform the surgery on me until I got much worse.
Feeling he had no other option, David began his own research to find answers online. He then asked his cardiologist for a referral and was sent to cardiothoracic surgeon Dr. Jeremy Song.
So we found that his aortic valve was barely opening, but most importantly, it was not closing. And as such, the blood that he was pushing out to his body was coming back into his heart.
David was diagnosed with severe aortic valve stenosis.
Severe aortic valve stenosis is when the valve does not open up completely, meaning that this heart has to push harder against a very stenotic door.
David told Dr. Song he wanted to undergo a procedure he read about online. Dr. Song, however, wanted to take David's age and lifestyle into account to determine the most effective treatment option.
David received a minimally invasive aortic valve replacement. The way I practice medicine is to customize treatments for patients. No patient is the same. And most importantly, I want David to be doing well not only now, but 30, 40 years from now. He's a young, healthy, 48-year-old guy. I expect him to be alive and well 40 years from now.
Because his surgery was minimally invasive, David says he experienced a faster recovery and less pain than expected.
He was ready to go on post-op day 2. He's doing great. He's 1 month out from his surgery. In another month, I will relieve all his restrictions and he can go about his very active lifestyle as he pleases.
As he continues to heal, David says because of Dr. Song and the services available through the Heart and Lung Institute, he can keep living life to the fullest.
So moving forward, I hope to get back to the activities the same as I was doing before, and I'm optimistic that I might be able to do a lot more than I was doing before, because I think the valve was kind of restricting me in some ways.